Hey guys, this is my final presentation for my 20% project. Just in case y'all don't remember, my original project was to go out in public and ask 100 strangers their personal definition of happiness. Some things that changed about that were, first of all, that my friend Kyanna decided to start going with me. It was a lot of fun because it made me feel more comfortable overall, and she enjoyed it a lot, so it was a lot of fun. Another thing that changed was that instead of asking 100 people like I had originally planned on, I lowered that number down to 50, but I will get more into that in a little bit. Some obstacles I had during this project were the time taken, because people tend to talk. I didn't have any idea how long it would take for me to get all of these people. The rejection by people was really surprising. I actually had a lot of people tell me they didn't have time or didn't want to help. If you're looking at the book, you can definitely tell I have a preference for middle-aged people between like 30 and 50 because they were more approachable, I guess. Younger people kind of intimidated me, older people kind of intimidated me, so that definitely was a downfall. Overall, these things led to, first of all, the reduction of my numbers from 100 to 50, and second of all, mostly because of procrastination, was the extra money spent on this project. I actually ended up having to spend an extra $15 to get the book here on time for this presentation because I took so long. A couple of things during this project kind of knocked my confidence a little bit. The first thing was being rejected because I would go out, kind of put myself out there, and people would kind of shut me down. And it made me a little more, cautious about asking people. I kind of, judged people and were like, hey, no, they'll probably say no. So that's on me, but it gave me less motivation because of this. I was like, okay, well, there's no point in me doing this. Most people yesterday said no to me. Whatever, I'll do it another day. But then Kyanna started going with me, like I said in my first video, and it was easier for me to go up to people and talk. I didn't feel so, one-on-one and in your face. So I think overall my confidence grew because I learned how to handle the rejection, and I learned how to approach people in a way that they won't reject me. So during this project, I learned multiple things about myself and other people. One of the things I learned was not to judge a book by its cover. I learned this because mostly there was this guy who I didn't think would have a great response, so at first I wouldn't go up to him. I was iffy about it, but I was encouraged to go up to him, and he ended up having one of my favorite responses in the entire book. It's the only one that I gave 2 pages on, I believe, because there was nothing in there that I thought was worth cutting out, so that one was really cool. Another thing I learned was about my poor attention span. I have a story, and it is terrible. I went up to this lady, her name was Debbie, and I asked her what her personal definition of happiness is, and she told me healthy family. And I was like, okay, that's awesome, good response. And she goes, yeah, I said that because my husband was just care flighted here because of a liver failure, and me not having, listened really to what she said, I looked at her and I said, oh, that's cool, and I walked away and thanked her for her time. I felt terrible. And I realized that I need to, actually listen and know what's going on around me. It was very, not a good experience, but I definitely learned from that. I also learned that everyone has a story. You never know what people are going through, what kind of things upset them. It made me more approachable, I feel like, to understand that not everyone's going to have the same reaction to you. And I also learned that rejection is okay. It kind of was the basis of my project, is learning how to handle the rejection. It was hard, but I did it. Overall, I believe that my project was a success, mostly because of the things that I've learned about myself and other people in the process, but also because I actually succeeded in getting a final product. I did not expect to actually have a final product, but I did, so yay.